Thanks for joining us. Okay. So Esoteric Heaven, Priscilla's over there, mining the camp. And Esoteric Heaven, or your version of heaven, or whatever it might be, it feels like just heaven energies. They can mean, if that comes to mind, also just you're coming out of a timeline or a difficult timeline. Of course, there's different ways of looking at the word heaven, or like Eden. Some kind of just, of course, there's many that are spoiled here that are, it's a lot of that going on. Of course, there's a lot, like I say, a lot of self-destruction here. That seems to be the best seller here. Incarnate to be a self-destructive narcissist. Because that's a major theme here for many. Or criminal energies. Yeah, there's some of that going on. Moon peril realities. Just going through a moon phase, so it's also a release if you need to know about someone, or somebody might know, or just releasing that connection, which is good. That's a good thing, like tail end of it or whatever it might be. That's good. That's really good, actually. For some people, it might be picking up on some of that. Because that also means that you're going to a new timeline, something else. So I guess it's all new timeline connections, really, it comes down to it. Because really, someone comes to mind that you just need to release, which is good. If you really reach out to them or not, whatever, it doesn't really matter, but it's releasing their frequency, especially those that are addicted to drama and self-sabotage, and try to just self-sabotage people and not even aware of it. Oh, they're just artistic or whatever. It's like, whatever. Or they're just self-sabotage. They're just addicted to self-destruction. The other thing that comes to mind is I've run into recently. Criminal elements. So it's going to be male or female. Doesn't mean it's your typical criminal, like breaking into stuff, but just energy-wise, energetic criminals. Screwing around with your vibe, or but also, like, this is not for everybody. Sometimes you're there to reveal their darkness to others, like for others to see them for what they really are. There might be cases like that. I'm talking cryptic here, and Fritzy is a foot stalker. A little bit of a distraction. I can't do anything with her. Either I move her quickly or she tries to kill me. So Priscilla's a little bit easier on that. She's a bit of a rag doll. Fritzy's on a different story. It's a different story there. This is all like new timeline elements. We're going to new moon phase. So it's good to do a clearing, or if it just comes to you energetic, like automatically, that's a good thing. So like certain things are just haven't released yet. There's some kind of processing that's still going on. Of course, some people might just be attracted to your energy and just sort of maybe improve or not improve or whatever it might be. Who knows? Of course, if I had a spirit guide that was interfering, if that was even a spirit guide, more like an entity that's claiming to be a spirit guide, there's that, and just running amok. He got kicked out a long time ago. That's the Ulysses. It was. I guess he was kind of like a guide, sort of part-time guide, but no, I got rid of that guy. I always felt kind of weird around him, but it felt like it was necessary. It's educational. Let's put it that way. I guess I don't always trust the guides. I mean, obviously there are trusting guides, but I don't always trust them because there's sometimes dirty. All right, so I'm talking. Private sessions, scheduler. Yeah, I got a shop here. Yeah, I gotta fix that. I keep messing with that. I don't think there's anything you can do about that. So yeah, spirit guide. Yeah, clear out spirit guides. It's good to just do that overall clearing if you feel like you need to. Doesn't hurt. Yeah, the spirit world, the universe obviously has issues. You see how this world is, so doesn't mean it's all bad, but it has definitely some. Yeah, well, it's not everything needs. Well, if it needs to be revealed, it will be revealed eventually. Whatever it is that you're trying to reveal or know. All right, we're going to the heaven energies. Basically, just connecting to that concept, and obviously on an individual level, it's different for everybody. Some people, this is heaven. This world is there. Sure. Yeah, some are self-sabotage addicts. Yeah, just heaven frequencies, and also you can say it goes into the moon, basically new time, heaven, new timeline energies. Yeah, and then the moon, parallel reality. So, greetings from there's the heaven consciousness or new timeline consciousness of basically a new timeline can be us moving around your frequency, and sometimes you can feel it and sometimes you don't. It's just basically it's kind of like you're weaving one. Usually you're weaving a difficult timeline. You can say into one that's more satisfying to your like what you're here to do. So even if it's work related, but it's the type of work you want to do, it's still like a heavenly like frequency, like you're on the highway out of hell or into hell, whatever it is, but you're a highway out of your darkness into other challenges, but you feel like you're like you finally get to be on the battleground, but you have like a knight going out to the army, kind of like that to some level. But I mean, there's nothing like feeling like you're connecting to yourself, like you're finally out of the gates of just waiting and hoping for things, and then you start feeling life is finally engaging more of how you feel like you're what you're here to do. Even if you don't know what you're here to do, sometimes it's better not to know. That way, if it takes a long time to get there, not a big deal. But for many of you, you probably feel like you're here for something, but it's just not showing itself. And it can take, yes, 10, 20 years or longer for it to show itself. And what you're here for can be, obviously, there's a lot, details, but, internally. But on a exterior mode, it could be, yes, one thing. Could be involved with, you'll know what it is when it happens. It could be several things, but it can also be one thing. Yeah, literally, you can come here just to do one thing, but just being here, you go through, you learn a great deal. Maybe things you never thought you'd ever get into. So that's what makes this world such a wild card. Because yes, you might have, your main timeline points, but how you get there is a lot of times up in the air. Like you might take the wrong turn where it takes longer to get to where you need to go, but you'll still get there. Or you just take a rougher path. And your soul is like, you know what? I can take it. I might hate myself for it, but I'll do it. And there's a higher reason for it. There's a higher reason for everything, even if it makes no sense. It's not supposed to make sense here anyway. Because this world is so scrambled in the lower frequencies, it's hard to access it because humanity is rejecting any kind of mostly energetic connections. They're obsessed with the physical realm. So you have like physical drug addicts. They're just addicted to the physical realm. This is their candy. This is their sugar. And so some of you are trying to get energetic answers all, but you get blocked due to the theme of society here, always they agreed upon. So you get what you need eventually, but yeah, there can be a lot of blockages there. But the heaven frequencies, it can be heaven on earth. It can be have. Sometimes you live challenging incarnations here, and then when you leave, it doesn't mean that it has to be perfect, but it's your version of heaven, whatever that might be. It doesn't mean you have to be tortured to death. Right? Some do like that because, yeah, they like the feeling of being on the edge. We're not going to go into all the details of that, but I think you understand. But some of you want some peace, harmony, but still retain your knowledge. Like you go to peace and harmony and then forget everything. Some do that. They go into the heart. Like you hear about this whole perfect heaven realm. Well, some beings want that. Sometimes it's a manipulation, but a lot of times, and there are beings here to manipulate that, obviously. They'll just take you on another ride, basically. You can get out of that one a lot quicker because as long as you're non-physical, you can find out your way out of it. So don't be too afraid of that. But some people, some beings, they just want to go into the heaven realm and just forget everything. But they have the knowledge, but they kind of do a reset, and then they incarnate here again to go through the challenges. It's like, okay, it's like you turn on the air conditioning, like it's really cold to clear yourself out. For those that are going to incarnate here again, the heaven concept can be on so many different aspects. Yes, heaven can be just knitting, quilting, whatever you choose. Hang out with your cats or dogs or whatever it might be. It doesn't have to be the version of heaven, but just basically just having a relaxed reality. It can be here in the physical and non-physical. It can be here, but sometimes it's not. Some of you are here to work, as you can see, and some are here to work and play, but some of you are here to work because nobody else is doing it or no one else has. It's kind of like being on call 24 hours a day. Yeah, it's difficult. But you do get some leisure time. They do allow you to breathe a little because you have to, because you won't be able to survive here due to that. So, blessings. Brings you the moon phase frequency. Yes, the energy of letting go. So yes, if someone comes to mind or opening up a new timeline, and someone from the past comes to mind, you feel like their frequency, and sometimes yes, that's the tail end. You're cutting off what is no longer needed for you to go forward. So that's very important because you don't want anyone blocking you wherever you're heading toward. It could be a move, it could be a new job, it could be anything, it could be a new lifestyle, hairstyle, whatever it might be. And you can feel the change. Yeah, you can get kicked out of your timeline when the time is right. There's different ways of looking at that, but usually it's just like you get kicked out to go into one that usually is better or more, whatever it might be. But you're obviously always shifting timelines, but there are main timelines where you feel a drastic change, like I say, a move, you're going to school, whatever it might be. Relationship energies. It's like, yes, and the whole new life concept. It's kind of like the phoenix to some level, but it's like burning off the old you for a new version to come through. Changing careers is a good example of that. Moving is one thing. A change of careers is that's a big deal. Like if you're a professional, you could be working at fast food and then just get a different career somewhere else. So it doesn't really matter how you look at it. Fast food people that work there, sometimes they're just there for conversation. Some of those people are ants beings, just because they know society needs food, so they just decide to kind of not have the huge incarnation cycle, just do little things here, like to keep a simple incarnation to a certain level. Doesn't mean they're not simple people, but just the job wise, it's also they're doing a lot of psychological understanding of customers, the staff. It's you're getting a different perspective of reality, and those usually the fast student energies do have a lot of social frequencies normally. And if you're an introvert, it's one way to become an extrovert. Just for using that for example. Obviously, there's other places you can think about too. Actually, with retail, like your Walmarts, is more isolating, at least for the employees. Yeah, they might connect to some people here and there, but also they become very introvert. Even if you're a manager or things like that, you might just do. Yeah, you feel also an energy of feeling hollow. There's that also. Well, that's the corporate hollowness. So, as a manager, like of a department store, Walmart, or whatever, yeah, you kind of sometimes you absorb the company into your own energy field and become it. And yeah, if you feel like it's almost like if you have a kid starts working at Walmart or becoming like a manager, it's like, what? My kid is not soulless for some reason. Yeah, because not always, but sometimes they can, bring in that free. Not always, but a lot. It's actually quite frequent. You become the company, the corporation, which is kind of frightening in some way. But that's actually very common throughout superpowers. Well, it's like you're wanting also to move above it or move up, but sometimes you need like a minimal job situation at first. Just and obviously, there's a lot more that goes into it, but usually they want to move up eventually in some form or another. Doesn't mean it has to be that job. It could be some other form. But all these jobs and lifestyle, it's all perspective. You're getting that viewpoint. Like if you're going to be wealthy, like Paris Hilton, you have that viewpoint. Yes, the bubble. You're living in sometimes nostalgic energies, but also kind of a lost frequency. Like, yeah, you might seem like you have it all made, but inside, who am I? And you might be like almost 70 and don't know anything, but on the exterior, you have everything. So it's just and this moon cycles, yeah, the earth itself can just you talk about you know your storms, your things that could your solar flares and all of that. A moon cycle can even be sometimes as drastic or more than because of human emotion. When all these humans are releasing a great deal, it's like a tidal wave. And it can cause power outages. It doesn't have to, but it can cause all kinds of such. It can cause rainstorms and things like that. And the humanity is finally letting go of its old ways, which is huge. Like you're looking for this earth that's a little bit more balanced. It's right, completely uneven, as you can see, on purpose. Well, you see, you have drastic those that want to go completely into their dark side. As you can see here, within society, obviously. That's why your buildings look not so great. The exterior doesn't look so great in some places in the world because a lot of humans are going into sometimes the deprived side of themselves, wherever it might be, the darkness. But they can also find the light too, eventually. But it's like it just helps them kind of obviously grow, but also release and just get to know themselves more. It's like, wow, I didn't realize I was this dark. And also you can bring some balance. It's different for everybody. Everyone's like their own auto mechanic or internal mechanic, but some are lazy or lousy at it, or lazy but lousy at fixing themselves. That's why they need help from others. Sometimes they're too lazy. Sometimes it's just they can't see. Like they want to improve, but they can't always see everything because they get blocked. But there is a lot of laziness here on the planet. Well, they're just not. They're fine the way things are. But obviously, many of you want to jumpstart yourself and move forward. And yes, you can jumpstart your incarnation cycle to improve it, to move it forward. Some of you do have that ability. Not everybody has that. Yeah, I'm not going into all the details of that. So,